Hello everyone and welcome back to Hannah's Happy Home. So in today's video, we are going to be giving this room an extreme transformation. The door to this room is just off of our kitchen, and this room you would consider, I guess, a screened-in porch. We did close in this one side over here, so most of it is closed off, but the front portion here is all screened in. And our plan from the beginning was to make this a workout room eventually, but during all the home renovations that we've been doing for the last 7 months, this room just turned into a storage room. It got neglected. It was just covered in dirt and dust and dead bugs and everything. It's just basically a disaster in here. But the time has finally come that we are going to completely transform this room and turn it into an amazing workout space. So the first step was to get this room completely cleaned out, find new homes for everything, and throw away all the trash. And then we swept it all out. My husband blowed it all out with the blower, got all of that dust out of there. And as you can see right here at the screen door where you walk into this porch area, this used to be all screened in, where you see those new 2x4s and the plywood and stuff. But we decided to close that off, and the contractor and his team stuccoed over that outside. So we're going to try to close that off a little bit better in here, and we actually like it a lot better this way. We're so glad that we did that and that there's no more screen there on the side. And while we were working on transforming this room, the contractor and his guys were at the front of the house working on putting the first of the stucco on the house, which is really exciting. They're finally getting started on that. It is quite the process though, because they're putting all of this on by hand, but they have gotten most of the front of the house done by now by the time that I'm editing this video. But they are going to have to redo this front section here, quite a bit of it actually, because the sun started to get really hot on this day and it dried too fast, and so it got spotty and everything. So he said he's going to go back and do a second coat on this. But they are making progress. It's just going to take, obviously, like with everything else, a lot longer than we thought. I see them having at least another week of stuccoing left before they're done. But now we've got this room all cleared out. I swept out just like the big chunks of stuff with the broom, and then Jalen came in with the blower, blew all of that dust out of there, and then we just started taking everything off of the walls and the ceilings. They had so many different hooks in the walls and wires up on the ceiling. She used it as a screened-in porch, so she had lots of plants hanging in here and some chairs and stuff, which that would be a really neat way to use this room. But we wanted to have a workout space. I love that we can still kind of get the feeling that we're outside while we're working out because of it being halfway screened in. We get a nice breeze blowing in here, nice airflow, so it's just going to be the perfect workout space. Okay, so the next step was to add some plywood here to this unfinished part of the wall where the contractor had closed it off and stuccoed on the outside. Jalen got all of the measurements, and then we headed out to the shop to cut up our 3 pieces of plywood.
That's fine, it looks better than the gap. gold treasure.
We got this entire room cleaned. We took all the nails, screws, hooks, everything out of the walls. Then Jalen got all this closed up with plywood and some trim, and now it's all ready to paint. This is gonna be a huge job to paint in here because we're gonna paint the whole ceiling, all of these posts, like everything that you see basically in this room, we're going to paint, and then we're putting flooring down on the floor. And Jalen's getting the speaker set up for some music. I'm starting to collect some of my painting supplies over here. We're gonna have to have a couple of rollers, one for the ceiling, the walls. Okay, we are taking a quick break here. We need a little bit of energy. We're gonna have a little snack, and thankfully we have got these Verb energy bars on hand that we've been loving. These are awesome when we're doing home renovation projects like this because these give us some energy. They're a great little snack. This big package here is the vanilla latte. This is the one we've been snacking on. And then we've got a couple more to try. Coconut chai, peanut butter, lemon raspberry. They're infused with organic green tea, so you can get amazing energy without the crash later. So a lot of times we'll have like a second cup of coffee in the afternoon or something if we need some energy, but instead of going and making coffee, we can just quickly grab one of these while we're doing projects. It gives us some energy. Each of these are only 90 calories, but yet they have as much caffeine as an espresso. So if you guys want to try out Verb energy bars, they have a really awesome trial pack where you can try their top 4 flavors for just the cost of shipping, which is less than $1 when you use my link down in the description box. And a big thank you again to Verb Energy for sponsoring this video.
They're the first energy bar I've ever tasted that actually are enjoyable to eat.
These don't leave a bad aftertaste.
It's like eating a really good
This one
granola
tastes
bar.
like cookie dough. So now that we've had our quick little snack and our boost of energy, we're gonna get back to work. We've got so much more work to do. And
I love painting.
yeah, it's our least favorite job, I think, but
It's come on.
yeah. There's always something so satisfying about watching a yellow ceiling turn white, and all of the paint that we used for this room was paint that we already had on hand from when we did all of the renovations inside of the house. We bought all of the paint in 5-gallon buckets, so we had almost a full 5-gallon bucket of white ceiling paint, and we also have an almost full 5-gallon bucket of the agreeable gray color that we used on all of the walls in our house. So we decided to just use that white ceiling paint on this ceiling in here and then use that gray color that we used on the inside of the house. That way we didn't have to buy any paint. And the lighting in this video makes this agreeable gray color looks like it's white, but it's actually a nice gray color. It turned out nice and bright in here, just brightened up this room so much. All of the walls were brown and it had that yellow ceiling. Now the screen on this room we would like to replace someday, but it is in great condition. It is a brown color though, so it doesn't really match the outside of our house and stuff, but we're just waiting until they are done with the stucco, we're done with the outside of the house, and then we will worry about whether we want to replace the screen or not. In order to replace it, we would have to pull off all of the boards on the outside in order to get the screen off, because they stapled it on and then they put the boards on the outside of it, so the boards are right on top of those staples. So we'll see what we end up doing there, but for now we're not worrying about the screens and we're just focusing on giving this room a makeover. And we were trying to do this little makeover on a budget because we didn't want to spend a ton of our renovation money on this room because we've got so many other big projects going on right now and other places in the house that are more important than this screened-in porch. I ended up just using a small foam roller to paint underneath of these screens, and then we used the big roller to do all of the walls and the ceilings, and then the paintbrush to get the smaller areas and the cracks. But it was a lot to paint in here, so many little places and boards and beams, but we finally got it all done. Can't wait for you guys to see how it turned out when it's all painted. It looks so nice and fresh and bright. It's going to be a great, motivating, bright space to work out in. We are going to pop off the screen door and also pop off this light that's up here on the wall because we're going to put a light in the middle of the ceiling instead of having one over here on the wall. I wish that I was Sheena right now, just taking a nap in the breeze. This agreeable gray color that I'm painting on the walls in here, like I said, it's the same one that we used on the inside of the house. And we got this in an eggshell finish, and we also got it from the brand Valspar. Even though the color agreeable gray is by Sherwin-Williams, when you go to Lowe's you can get it in the Valspar brand. It's the exact same paint, just a little bit cheaper. And that ceiling paint was just a basic flat white ceiling paint. And also this floor will not be staying red. We are going to be putting flooring down, but that will be in the next video. So stay tuned for part 2 of this makeover. This hole in the wall here is from that light fixture that my husband took off earlier, and we are actually going to be closing that off and putting one big light fixture in the middle of the room. We are going to be doing that in the part 2 video where we put the final touches on this room and give you the final before and afters. But we have to wait to close off that hole until after we install the light fixture so that my husband can wire in that new light fixture and we can use the same switch as before. sun was setting, we finally finished all of the painting in this room and we pulled all of the tape off of everything, but we still had to paint the window and the doors. So the next morning we got started on that. Jalen taped and painted this window right here, and then I painted the door, and we were able to use black paint that we already had on hand. This is the same black paint that I've been using on the outside of the house, and then Jalen used the same black spray paint that we've been using on the outside of the house, which I will link down below. And yeah, I think it's going to go well with everything that we're going to be adding in this workout room and all the final touches and the flooring and everything, which you guys will get to see in part 2. Like I said before, I don't usually like to split my room makeover videos into 2 different parts, just because me personally, I like to see the whole makeover in one video, and I'm sure that you guys do too, but it just ended up happening that way for this video because this painting took us longer than we thought, and also we were still waiting for some items to come in the mail to finish up this room, so we decided we're just gonna split it up into 2 parts. You guys will get to see part 2 in just a couple of days. It will be the next video on my YouTube channel. Okay, so here is a quick reminder of the before, and now here is a look at the progress that we've made so far. We've got all of the major stuff done, and now it's time to do those final touches. We're going to add flooring, light fixture, workout equipment, so stay tuned for that part 2 video that's coming in a couple of days. And thank you guys so much for watching this video and supporting our channel, and a big thank you to Verb Energy for sponsoring this video. We have been eating those bars every day lately while we've been working on projects. We love them. They're so yummy. The link will be down below, and we will see you guys in a couple days in that next video. Bye.